Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Man, Antonelli here. So, huge news. Major League Baseball has just announced that it is raising minor league salaries starting in the 2021 season. We've made a lot of videos about this. This is one topic that I get asked about a lot. The lack of pay in minor league baseball and my thoughts on that. And we've made videos, if you want to go check them out. I've made a bunch of them in the past. But finally, we have some news here that salaries are going to get raised in 2021. So let's delve into the details here. Let's look at exactly what is changing, how much your salary is going to increase. Then I'm going to give you my thoughts and a couple of stories, again, with my experience when it comes to minor league salaries. Okay, so 2 years ago, by the way, 2 years ago, MLB successfully lobbied Congress to exempt minor leaguers from federal minimum wage laws. So that's 2 years ago. And now we're increasing salaries, okay? So the MLB has changed their stance on this, and they've opted to increase player wages between 38% and 72% for the 2021 season. So here's a look at some of the increases. Players at rookie ball and short season levels will see their minimum weekly pay raised from $290 a week to $400 a week. Players at Class A, so single A ball, will go from $290 a week to $500 a week. Double A will go from $350 a week to $600 a week, and Triple A will go from $502 a week to $700 a week. Now, keep this in mind. I always state this because a lot of people don't realize this, that minor leaguers, they only get paid during the season, okay? They don't get paid in the off season. They don't get paid at spring training. When they're asked to go to instructional league, they don't get paid, okay? So in spring training, you only get meal money, MEAL, meal money, which is like $25 a day in meal money, okay? But you don't get paid your salary. So please keep that in mind. In the off season, you don't get paid your salary. In the playoffs, you don't get paid your salary. So if you go to the playoffs, you don't get paid anything extra. You get some meal money, but you don't get paid an additional salary when you're in the minor leagues. So please keep that in mind. So in total, this means that if you're a AAA player, you can earn $14,000 during your 5-month season, okay? If you're a short season player, which is basically one of the lowest levels, then you can make $4,800 during your 3-month season. It's a shortened season. It's short season. Usually drafted players go there. Okay? So we're still, for AAA, the guys that are right below the big leagues, we're still only talking about $14,000 for the year. Okay? So it's still not a lot of money. Now, here's a couple of things. Ben Verlander, which a lot of people get mad at Justin Verlander for some of the things that he says, but Ben Verlander, Justin's brother, 5-year minor leaguer, he said, "We put in 12 hours a day at the baseball field, and all we ask for in return is a livable wage." Now, I've talked about this before, and this is a great point. A lot of people don't realize how long you're actually at the field for. So most players are going to get to the game. When I was in, let's just say, short season A-ball, I'm getting to the field around like 1:30. A lot of times I have to do early work, right? So before you even do batting practice or anything, you're going to have to do extra work or early work with your coach. You might have to go out and field ground balls or hit extra in the cage. That's going to happen before your batting practice even starts. So I could get there at like 1:30, get a quick bite to eat, and then I'm going to go out on early work. Then I'm going to do batting practice. Then I'm going to come back in and let the other team hit. Then I'm going to stretch out, get ready for the game. Then I'm going to play the game. Then after the game, they're going to give us, depending on the level, they might not give you anything. At a real low level, they don't give you anything. But you might get a small little meal after the game. You shower up. By the time you get out of there, you've been to the field for 10 hours. It might be past 11 o'clock, right? So you've been there 10 hours. And every 4 days, pretty much, you're going to jump on a bus. And you have to drive 5, 6, 7 hours, sometimes 8, 9, 10 hours, sometimes longer. So it's not just the time on the field, it's the time on the road, it's the traveling. You're spending a ton of time playing baseball, and I know that it's baseball, and people always say, yeah, but it's baseball, it's fun, and I agree. But this is also these players' jobs. This is their job. They're not, they need to support, some of them have to support their families on this money. There are minor leaguers that are married. There are minor leaguers with kids. There are minor leaguers. I talked about in the past about, a lot of the players I play with from Latin America. A lot of those guys would make money and then they have to send the money back home to their families to help support their families back there. So it was a horrible amount of money before. And now this increases it, but it's still not a ton of money, okay? Couple other things to keep in mind. Minor league salaries, and this is what's crazy, they've been stagnant since basically 2005. So they really haven't increased at all. I was getting paid nothing back then, and I was talking to current minor league players, and I couldn't believe that they were like, yeah, we still get paid that amount. It's mind-boggling that they were still getting paid what I got paid when I got drafted in 2006, 14 years ago. And they were still making the same amount of money. They hadn't had any increases. So this is obviously a nice way to get a little bit of an increase. I hope that it continues to go up. It probably won't, but maybe this can keep a few guys around a little bit longer and actually help them make a little bit of a living. Okay, let's see what else. The raises come as MLB is negotiating with the National Association of Professional Baseball Leagues, the governing body of the minors, to replace the professional baseball agreement that expires after the 2020 season. So a lot of you have heard this before, where they're looking to cut down minor league teams. All right? And so the MLB is proposing cutting 42 of the 160 required affiliated teams during those negotiations, a plan criticized by small-town fans and politicians at the local and national level. MLB priorities include reducing the travel burden on players and improving player working conditions. Okay, so they were looking to cut these teams. And people were really irate about this, that they were going to cut more teams. I do think, increasing player wages now, if they were going to cut teams and keep player wages the same, I was like, when I first heard that, I was like, this is crazy. If you're going to cut teams, which means you're going to cut players, then you better start paying those players more money. And so this is a nice step again. Trying to reduce travel burden, yeah, that might. Hopefully that does help, because traveling, in some leagues, traveling is horrendous. Just horrendous. 10-hour, 12-hour bus rides on buses that are, if you've seen the movie Major League, those are the type of buses. When I was in Eugene, Oregon in short season A-ball, our bus, the AC would break. It would break down. I told you guys a story about how we spent the whole night on the side of a highway trying to get back from Vancouver, Canada, back to Eugene, Oregon. And it's just brutal. So hopefully that will, if cutting a few teams helps with some of that travel and doesn't make teams have to go 12 hours every 4 days, then, I might be for that. Here's a couple of more quotes from some current and former MILB players. So Joe Mantiply, current 6-year minor league with the Diamondbacks, he said, I think it'll keep guys mentally in it longer. I know I've played with numerous guys that chose to go another way just because they felt like financially it wasn't worth it for them to stick it out. And I've talked about this before. I've had friends that have given up on playing because they said, I can't do this anymore. I can't afford to feed my family, to provide for my family. Now people have said, do you think there's ever been a big time prospect that has said that? I think most of the players that do that are probably guys that are realizing, I'm probably not going to get to the big leagues. However, there's been plenty of guys that I've played with that I thought, there's no way this guy's going to get to the big leagues. And they end up getting there. So anyone has a chance, maybe not anyone, almost anyone, right? If you're in professional baseball, then you've got some skill, obviously. And I've seen crazier things happen. So I'm sure there's been a few guys that decided to stop playing because they just literally couldn't afford to play. And maybe one or two of those guys, a few of those guys could have made it to the big leagues. It is possible. Garrett Brocious, former MILB player, and he's actually the lawyer that's representing a small group of minor leaguers that filed a lawsuit back in 2014 to increase minor league player salaries. He says they've been ignored for way too long, and an increase is long overdue. At the same time, even with this increase, the majority of players are still going to be paid at a level that's below the poverty line. And this increase doesn't do anything about the players who are required to report to spring training and extended spring training and who aren't paid at all during those work periods, he said. This is an encouraging step, but much more work needs to be done without a doubt. Okay, so I talked about this prior, right? You go to spring training. Teams tell you, obviously, you have to go to spring training. If they tell you to go to instructional league, you got to go to instructional league. If they tell you to go to extended spring training, which is after spring training, if you don't make a team, they can send you extended spring training. You have to go. Yet they don't pay you. Like, they just give you $25 for meal money. And so there are definitely still things that have to be done. I'd be interested. I haven't really worked a normal job really in my life. I've bagged groceries at a grocery store. I've washed dishes at my family business. But how many jobs are there where they can say to you, hey, listen, we need you to come in for 3.5 months to work, but we're not going to pay you anything. Like, there's not a lot of jobs, I don't think, that happens. I'm sure there's people are going to put in the comments that there are some. But that's really what happens, right? You got to come to spring training. You got to come to extended spring training. Maybe you got to come to instructional league. Yet we're not going to pay you anything to come to those. Seems crazy. Last couple things. I had to put this quote in here. Mike Yastrzemski, Giants outfielder, who is a St. John's prep grad. So he went to my high school a couple years after I went. Spent 6 seasons in the minor leagues. And 40 games this year in the minor leagues before getting called up and making his debut with the Giants, which he raked this year. So he said, I think for a long time we've had this idea in baseball that you have to put in your time. To an extent, that may be true. But we need to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to make themselves better. I think it's really hard to be focused on other things in the offseason when guys have a significant advantage because they don't have to work 30 hours a week or 40 hours a week and try and keep up with regular life. So that's another thing. If you're a minor league player and you're trying to get to the big leagues, most of those players have to work in the offseason, right? If you're only getting paid $5,500 during the season or $10,000 during the season, you have to work during the offseason to survive. And so while you're working, you're at a disadvantage because let's just say a major leaguer, a guy that gets in the big leagues, like he's getting paid league minimum $550,000+ a year. He ain't working in the offseason. So you're trying to compete with this guy. You're trying to bust your butt in the offseason to try to be better than this guy so you can beat him out. He ain't working in the offseason. You have to work in the offseason. So it can become very difficult for some minor leaguers. Now, again, let me say this one more time because I didn't say it in this video. Minor leaguers do get, when you get drafted or you sign as a let's say, an international free agent, you can get a signing bonus. But there's some players that don't get signing bonuses. And, listen, I got a really high signing bonus. I got drafted in the first round. So if you're drafted high, yeah, you're going to get a huge bonus, and that's a huge advantage. But if you don't, you're not going to get really anything. And so you have no signing bonus, and now you're depending on $5,500 a year to help, pay for your housing, your clothing, your food. It's just impossible. And if you have a family, there's no chance. Tony Clark, head. He's a union head, MLBPA union head. I'll finish off with this. He said, not to say money is the only reason to play, but you have to have money to live. It's a start, but there's a long way to go before these young players are being compensated and treated fairly. So we'll see what comes of this. If, players' salaries are increased more going down the line, this is a good start. Hopefully it increases more. And it's interesting. The Toronto Blue Jays were the one team that they independently raised all of their minor league players' salaries 50% before the 2019 season. And they're the only team that did that and paid players more than the minimum. So good for the Blue Jays. And we'll see if anyone else decides, even with this raise, if they decide to bump the money and the salary even a bit more. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you haven't seen my other videos on minor league salaries, again, I've made a bunch of them. Go back. We go into even more detail. And just reading the comments from people, most people didn't realize a lot of those things. Didn't realize what minor leaguers got paid. Didn't realize what they have to pay for. And so go check that out if you haven't done so already. That's all we got. Thanks for watching so much. Thank you to our patrons on Patreon for helping support the channel. I really, really appreciate that. Don't forget to hit the bell so you get all of our new videos that are coming out soon. Subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up. All that good stuff. And we'll talk to you later.